program for different reasons. And getting the financial support is always a problem. So your institution coming in to support the presidential treatment program is highly appreciated. And I can assure you that thousands of patients and families will benefit from the donation that you've made today.
Health is one of the most crucial sectors of the country, and any step taken to bolster the gains being scored in the area would only come as a welcome development. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi. Key players in the country's education sector have been meeting for the sector's biannual joint donor review and supervision mission. Samuel Barr reports the interface which attracted staff of the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry and donor partners was convened to review policies and action plans initiated and implemented in the previous years.
The biannual multi-sectoral interface between the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry, donor partners and other bodies with stakes in education on Wednesday converged for the usual review of investments made to the ministry by her development partners. The consultative dialogue, which comes in the months of June and December, reviews policy issues, plans and funding, among others. Permanent Secretary Babukar Boy set the stage for the multi-stakeholder convergence, outlining in clear terms the significance of the gathering towards quality service delivery.
The usefulness of this get-together cannot be overemphasized, and you will all agree with me that since we initiated the process, the type of inputs we have received from our partners, both within and outside the country, has been tremendous.
The World Food Programme is the lead in-country donor for the education sector, replacing the UNICEF that has been credited for taking a lead role over the past years. The WFP resident coordinator commended MOPSI for their efforts in resource mobilization and further painted a clear picture of the activities embarked upon by the local education groups.
Namely, the coordination of education sector mapping exercise, which has been concluded and was presented yesterday. This was conducted under the leadership and the guidance of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, with the full collaboration of local education group members, with the financial support of the World Food Programme. So I want also to mention the support to the Ministry for the review and finalization of the Gambia's Education Plan Development Grant application.
The World Bank, a genuine partner of the ministry, seems hopeful for greater progress as the education sector appears relentless in their numerous interventions, notably the conditional cash transfer and teacher training, where great progress is said to have been registered. The task team leader further pledged the World Bank's continued support to the sector.
We have no doubt that the Gambia can similarly pave the road, is on the road towards reaching equal success and to be able to compete at the global scale. A lot of interventions, just reflecting on all the interventions that have already taken place over the years, and it's a long list, and all of these interventions have been taking place through the leadership of the government.
Project performance, according to financial experts, is key and a major way of differentiating success from failure. Cognizant of the role of education in the realization of the government's development blueprint page, the Ministry of Finance remains steadfast in providing support to the education sector, a dream equally shared by a sister Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
If you cannot measure results, you cannot differentiate success from failures. If you cannot highlight successes, you cannot reward it. If you cannot reward success, you probably reward failure.
This is indeed a very important gathering for all of us. Given the importance that has been articulated related to education, its contribution to national development, to economic growth, and all that it takes to improve lives of human beings.
The Basic and Secondary Education Minister emphasized the fact that despite the gains registered by the sector, a lot more needs to be done to further upscale quality service ahead of the set education targets of 2015 and Vision 2020. She maintains that the recommendations and way forward emanating from the stock-taking exercise will be taken on board.
This is a gathering that we always look forward to, as I always say, because as the peer said, it takes the outsider to be able to pick those things that you just gloss over. And we always look forward to the mission coming and taking that outsider's look at what we are doing in the education sector and helping us, see those areas that we need to improve upon.
Fatou Lamin Faye further commended the political will of the Jammeh administration in taking education service delivery to safer shores. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
The British High Commissioner to the Gambia has reaffirmed his government's support to the Gambia Security Services. Devin Morley was speaking at the end of a week-long insurgency and counter-insurgency training program for 15 senior officers from various security outfits. Louis Mendy has more on the capacity building exercise facilitated by instructors from the UK Sandhurst Military Academy.
15 senior officers from various security services in the Gambia have completed a 5-day training on insurgency and counter-insurgency. The training was facilitated by instructors from UK Sandhurst Military Academy through the British High Commission in the Gambia. Captain Abdullah Job, commandant of the Gambia Armed Forces Training School, outlined the importance of the training, which he says comes on the back of preparation for deployment in Darfur and Mali.
The significance of this course cannot be overemphasized. In fact, it couldn't have come at a better time than now that we are preparing for deployment in Darfur as well as Mali, given the changing circumstances surrounding our operational theaters in Darfur in particular, and potentially a new theater in Mali.
Captain Job further urged the senior officers to do more to expand their knowledge and explore their potentials. The latest training program for members of the Security Service, Navy Captain Sambu Barrow maintained, forms part of the many training schemes which he says is in line with the CDS vision in enhancing the capacities of officers in the services.
Indeed, this training program is in line with the CDS vision in capacitizing senior officers in the armed and sister security services with the professional knowledge and needed skills to execute their assigned roles and responsibilities in dealing with insurgency and counter-insurgency related matters.
The British have been particularly helpful in promoting training for members of the Gambia Armed Forces. David Morley, the British High Commissioner to the Gambia, outlined the long fruitful relationship the two countries enjoyed, adding this particular initiative will be a continuous process.
Gambian armed forces have had a long relationship, and this is just the latest example of the partnership that we have. We tend to react to requests from the GAF, and this was something that they wanted us to do. It was agreed a few months ago, and I'm delighted. We've had 2 lecturers from Sandhurst, 2 academics from Sandhurst to come and deliver the training.
The training, he went on, is a huge success, and this was achieved through hard work from all parties.
The feedback I've had has been that it's been hugely successful, and not least because of the expertise of the visitors, but also because of the enthusiastic participation of the GAF and the other agencies. All the candidates have done really well, and they've demonstrated a huge appetite to learn, but they also contribute a lot because of their expertise, their knowledge of military issues in the sub-region and beyond. So it's very much a two-way thing.
One of the instructors, Christopher Mann, spoke of his impression of the quality of manpower in the military.
The quality of manpower, particularly in terms of intellectual strength, was really, really very impressive. The course participants engaged with an enthusiasm which I think was